Sticking with the day's market moves, ASP Isotopes has made its mark and officially listed on the JSE. The advanced materials company announced its intention to list on the JSE in April and has since progressed the overall offering in its core business, doing what is set to enable South African investors access to a unique growth opportunity. I caught up with the chairman and CEO, Paul Mann, for greater perspective.
Yeah, so there's a huge supply side problems of isotopes around the world, and many new isotopes are needed to enable next generation technologies such as advanced semiconductors, quantum computing, such as nuclear medicine, such as next generation nuclear fuels and nuclear energy. And the world's not going to be able to have those technologies without isotopes. So our goal is to build facilities and plants that can produce those isotopes to enable a lot of the mega trends the world is seeing right now.
In terms of building those plants, I do understand that you have 3 in South Africa. Is that a geographically diversified thing?
Yeah, so we built our plants in South Africa because we acquired out of Business Rescue a group of scientists in South Africa who developed ways to enrich isotopes. And we've hired about 170 employees, most of whom are here in South Africa. And we've had a great reception in South Africa from both the government, the regulator, as well as the population and people. So it's appropriate we built our plants here in South Africa. It's where the people, the best scientists are, the best engineers are. We would like to build plants in other countries as well. We're looking to try and build plants in the United States, the United Kingdom, and Iceland as well. But that may take some time. But for now, we're very happy here in South Africa.
It is actually quite interesting because, these plants are in South Africa, and particularly the manufacturing sector. It's usually seen as a difficult environment to operate in. That's not the kind of experience that you've had from the sounds of it.
Well, listen, the most challenging thing we find is the energy security, energy supply.
Yeah.
And that's easy to resolve by getting diesel generators. It's expensive, but one can get around it. But in terms of getting environmental permits, in terms of getting licenses and what have you, things happen a lot quicker here than they do in other countries. And also, South Africa's got a great nuclear engineering history.
Yes.
And so we've tapped into that expertise to help build these plants.
How, actually, just talking about, the nuclear capabilities, what's your role in that?
Well, you have to remember, many years ago, South Africa built 6 nuclear weapons. So a lot of the skills to enrich isotopes were developed here. And, we're now obviously taking some of those people out of retirement and put them back to help us build plants for things like ytterbium-176 and silicon-28. We've also supplemented it with lots and lots of young engineers who are leaving university with great skill sets.
So there's a great pipeline. Would you say that there's a long runway, a great pipeline in terms of people who are skilled in this area?
Yeah, we hire the best engineers every year from your universities, and we're very happy with the engineers we have. They know how to build good plants on time, on budget, and it's been great.
Yeah. You mentioned the silicon-28 plant in Pretoria, and I think if I remember correctly, you started commercial production in April. Just talk to me about that, the production capacity and who that product is for, who it's going to.
So we built a plant in Pretoria that we think can produce about 80 kilograms a year of silicon-28. And we've signed 2 contracts, one with a large global industrial gas company, one with a large US semiconductor company, to start supplying small volumes of silicon-28. Now, actually, we shipped our first samples of enriched silicon-28 this month in August, which is great. And what's important about silicon-28 is when you think about the development of semiconductors over the last 70 years, they broadly followed Moore's law. And Moore's law states that a semiconductor doubles in speed every 2 years, plus minus, and that's broadly happened over the last 70 years. Now, it's widely believed that Moore's law stopped working in 2024, and we've exhausted the laws of physics now, and we need new materials in order to make faster semiconductors. And so there's a lot of excitement from the industry about silicon-28 and germanium-70 and other isotopes. And to give you an idea of the excitement, there's one fab we speak to in America. This time last year they had 2 customers wanting to use silicon-28 in semiconductors. Now they've got 35 customers wanting to do it. So there's an explosion in the industry of interest in using new materials to make faster semiconductors and to enable quantum computing.
Yeah, I mean, you've already spoken about your experience in terms of operating as a business in South Africa, but today you have listed on the JSE secondary listing, and I'm wondering what is the importance of that and really what you want to communicate to the local investors.
Well listen, it's we have a lot to thank South African people for. We wouldn't be able to build this company in any other country. The heartbeat of this company is here in South Africa, and so it's important that we allow South Africans to benefit from what we're doing and what we're building here. And so the JSE listing will allow local investors to invest in our company and hopefully generate a good return over the next several years as we build more and more plants down here.
Talking about how the business is operating, because obviously it's not just in the South African environment, it's in the global environment as well, and we know that we've been hit by a number of geopolitical impacts and headwinds, and I'm wondering if you are experiencing any of that hit or any kind of uncertainties from the geopolitical landscape, whether it be from the Russia-Ukraine war, from the elevated US tariff landscape, and particularly, it may not even be direct, maybe indirectly, I mean, through the industries that you operate in.
Yeah, so the Russia-Ukraine war hasn't really affected the supply of isotopes that much. Russia's responsible for about 85% of stable isotope production in the markets that we're looking to enter, and the world can't operate without them. So there has really not been a supply side problem or an elevated supply side problem because of the war. We don't expect tariffs to impact isotope sales into America. They're a critical material, and so I'd be surprised. I've been told by some of our advisors that probably not going to be immune to tariffs. I find tariffs problematic everywhere. I wish that we live in the world without tariffs, and we import a lot of things into South Africa, and we find tariffs very tedious, to operate with.
That was Paul Mann, CEO of ASP Isotopes.